Hello, people. How's it going? You're warmer than I am here in the land of the frozen north, also known as Minnesota. Might have to close that. I don't know. Well, this is the starting over of one of my series anyway of creative writing series and talking about books. I will talk about books via creative writing and vice versa. Um, I love books. I will always love books. I have loved books as far back as I can remember. I cannot remember a time when I was not reading them. My mother was a book person, so therefore I'm a book person. So to me, writing and creative writing and reading books, I can't separate the two. I can't talk about one without talking about the other. So I'm not going to. I'm sorry if this bores people, but I am going to talk about writing, creative writing, and books at the same time. I've decided what I'm going to probably try to do is have a book ready so I can talk about the creative writing aspect in that author. I'm going to try a whole different things. I'm still, this is still a work in progress, but I think I now figured out how I want to do it. And hopefully this won't bore too many of you. And hopefully my lack of, I'm one of those people who just sits here and talks. I'm just sitting here and talking. That's just who I am. That's how I do things. I'm not very demonstrative. I love the subject. I love reading. I love writing. I love talking about books. I like fiction. I like nonfiction. Now, granted, I do have more nonfiction than fiction. Hot chocolate. No, it has no rum in it today. Maybe at some other point, but not right now. But anyway. First of all, I'm looking at my notes. If I look down here every once in a while, it's because that's where my notes are. If I don't write my stuff down, I will be rambling all over the place. And I will go all over kind of rabbit trails. But because I want to make this work. I like the idea of talking about books and writing. I watch other YouTube channels and they're having fun. They're enjoying themselves. That's the kind of enthusiasm I'm hoping to achieve, despite the fact that it's really not my personality. Someone's on my thing and I'm not responding to it because it's crap. But anyway, no, someone's responding and they're sending something I have no intention of listening to. Okay, this person's going to have to be deleted. Anyway. But anyway, where was I before I was distracted by apparently someone I'm going to have to block? I interrupted myself. But anyway, creative writing is exactly what it sounds like. But does it always work? You can think you've created something creative, and it can be the dullest thing in the world. And I do have examples. I'll get to those at some point. I enjoy talking about creative writing. I like the process. I like the nuances. I like the psychology. I like the emotion. I like creating stories. As most people know who know me, I write stories. And that's on my blog site. I enjoy writing them. I like the creative process. I would love to know where H.P. Lovecraft got his weird ideas. From his imagination, which, that's also on my notes. I mean, I discovered H.P. Lovecraft probably about 10 odd years ago, maybe a little longer than that, but not much further than that. I like his weirdness. I like his stories. I like At the Mountains of Madness. I think that's a great mini novel or novella. On character development, it lacks, but on creepy and terror and horror, it works just fine. I like H.P. Lovecraft. I have the big book of all his stuff. I had the Barnes and Noble complete fiction version of his stuff. Originally, I used to buy the little paperback that had just some of his stories in it, but this one has his essay on writing, which is why I bought it. One reason I bought it. I would like to know. I mean, creativity fascinates me. Creativity comes from somewhere that the people who don't have it or don't know how to use it will never understand because they just don't. I try to explain a lot of times when I'm writing or what I'm trying to do, and I can't do it. It just comes out gobbledygook. But I think that's being a writer. Um, but does it always work with each other? No, because not all right. Most some writers think they have an imagination and they don't. They just have ideas. They just have this idea and they try to make it into a book. All right, I'm going to use an example. I read the Da Vinci Code. Dullest book, one of the dullest books I've ever read is Dan Brown's Da Vinci Code. I'm sorry. I didn't find it interesting. I didn't find the characters interesting. I didn't find any of it interesting. There were just a bunch of tropes. Stephen King's favorite thing in a lot of his books. But Stephen King does it better. And I love Stephen King. I love his short stories. But the Da Vinci Code was boring. It just was boring. I'm sorry. And the movie was worse. I'm sorry. Poor Tom Hanks looked like, is this film over yet? Am I done doing this movie yet? That was the look on the man's face for the entire film. Am I finished with this movie yet? Can I go home? Can I get my paycheck and leave? I found it boring. I didn't find the characters interesting. I didn't find them well written. They were tropes. They were the fanatic, the weary, world weary, whatever he was. I don't remember what he was in the movie. And then the one lone woman that we're not supposed to guess who she is. Oh no, who could this person really be? Really, you have only one woman in this film. Who do you think we're going to reveal who the lineage of Mary Magdalene and Jesus are going to be? You only have one woman in this film. It's not a mystery. It's not a mystery, people. I found it boring. I mean, I've read the book and I've seen the movie. I was bored. And to me, you can write a book and have absolutely no creativity whatsoever and have no imagination whatsoever. Good writers know how to develop these ideas into good stories. As weird as H.P. Lovecraft wrote, his stories are good. Not all of them. There are some that are a little off, but I've always found them to be fair. I find most of them to be pretty good. I mean, basically, I put down the three things. Well, I stole it from someone else. If I remember correctly, if you can't see that, that just basically says, a writer needs the three things: experience, observation, and imagination. I think part of the reason I don't read a lot of fiction of today is there isn't any. They're all soapboxes, some of them. They're boring, they're soapboxes, they're predictable. They lack, they're written like essays, some of them. And I don't find them interesting. There are very few authors of today I like. There are very few. I mean, Stephen King comes to mind, Peter Straub comes to mind, Michael Crichton comes to mind. I'm not saying they're all good, but there is something there that holds my attention. Which, if it holds my attention, you have a better chance of doing anything. But a writer does need experience. A writer just can't. Some writers can do it. Some writers can do absolutely go nowhere their whole lives and create great things. I think Robert E. Howard didn't go anywhere. And he created Conan and he created all those other great stories, and he did. But he didn't travel. I mean, he corresponded with H.P. Lovecraft. But you need experience. A writer needs experiences to get the creativity going. Needs observation. A writer has got to be able to observe. He's got to be able to observe almost everything and manage to take from those observations the stuff that's important or the stuff that can be used. Even the mundane stuff can be used. Even the mundane observations can be used later for a story. Even if it's just for a second in a story, it's important. The last one is imagination. I'm going to probably go back to these 3 points several times in the other videos too, but this is just the first one. This is just sort of a... Sorry. But anyway, I should have a light on. That's part of the problem. Hey, you can see me. I knew I was doing something wrong. That's okay. You want perfection, people? Go somewhere else. I mean, a writer needs experiences in life. They don't have to be earth-shattering, world-shattering adventures in their lives, but they've got to have something other than their imagination, for most of them, to generate and write stories that people want to read. I mean, today I bought, this is my third point, is I found this book, Damnation Alley, by Roger Zelansky. The book is crap. I mean, the movie is crap. I'm sorry. The movie, done in 1977 with George Papard and Jan Michael Vincent, and the only thing interesting I remember from that film, really, other than the vehicle, are the cockroaches, and the armor-plated cockroaches. It's the only thing about that film that I remember. Now, I haven't read this. I just started reading it. I just started reading this. So far, it's far more interesting than the movie. And so far, the characters are far more interesting than the movie. But point is that in a lot of ways, the movies are written by people with less imagination than the people who wrote the book, who wrote this book. I mean, if you want a good bug movie, I'm off course again, but if you want a good bug movie that scared the hell out of me as a kid, was Bug 1975. Is when after a giant massive earthquake opens a crack in the earth, and these fire creating little bugs come out and try to take over, and it's a cool movie. It's based on a Thomas Page novel from his 1973 novel, The Aspasias Plague. Yes, I wrote it all down, people. I'm not going to memorize all this stuff. Right? It's just not going to happen. That's why we have a notebook, and I don't have to. But that movie scared the hell out of me. Of course, I was, in 75? I was 12. I was 12 in 1975. That movie scared me. The bugs in Damnation Alley almost scared me. The movie was boring. It just was. It wasn't. I've always believed the books are always better than the movies. They always will. Most people agree with that. This is a good book so far. I'm enjoying this book. I like this book. I'm trying not to cover up my stuff. But never mind. Somebody's on my chat thing, and I'm not liking what they're typing. It's ad for things. I have no idea who this person is. Anyway, I'll have to block them or something because they're putting something on there I don't need to see or care about. But let's see. My notes. I mean, what I'm going to try to start doing though, the next one, I'm going to still try to do the same format. I'm going to go back to imagination, experience, and observation. Oh, excuse me, man. My poor stomach. But to be I lost my train of thought. That'll happen. I'm good at that. I'm good at losing my train of thought when I have other thoughts. But I've decided that that there's not a lot of modern literature I like. I just don't. They're soapboxes. That's what they are. They're soapboxes, and that's all they are. We live in the age of, everything's a soapbox instead of a story. There's no imagination in any of these things. There's no real creativity in any of these things. It's slanted observations via politics, slanted observations versus maybe experiences of something they never actually gone through. That's why I like the old stories, the old sci-fi, the old fiction, the old stuff. I'm old, people. I'm 40. I'm 48. I'm 58 years old. I'll be 49. 49. I'll be 59 in a couple of weeks. But anyway, I'm gonna stop at 15 minutes. I don't want to make them too long. I'm gonna try to get my thoughts a little better than this one. This is a starting one. This is starting over. I'm not really upset with it. If people have comments, and give me comments. I would like comments. I would like people to subscribe to my channel. Tell me what you think I can do better, or what I'm doing wrong. Just observations. Hey, I am always willing to listen for help. But anyway, I got this book today. I was looking for it because it was recommended by someone else. So far, I like this book. I do like this book. So nothing like the movie, except maybe a few things here and there. But so far, the book is far more better science fiction than that movie ever was. Because the only thing I remember in that movie is I've said in the bugs and the vehicles. And it's a shame because George Papard is a good actor. He was a very good actor. But I'm going to cut it off because I'm now rambling again. Have a good day, people. Stay out of trouble, because I won't. And I will try to get another video off done hopefully today or tomorrow. Later. Have a good day.